Yay. Okay.
Hey.
I I was an hour off.
Oh, I'm surprised you weren't 3 hours off.
I thought I still had. Well, when I put my watch forward, I didn't put it forward.
Oh.
Whew.
Wow.
Let me go. I
Glad you're home safe.
thank you. Oops, where's the I need another dongle in order to attach my headphone, my thing that makes me louder, but I don't have it. I don't know where it is.
Where's Dwight?
He's somewhere.
You
He's
need help.
upstairs. He just signed on, or he was gonna sign on, but
Yeah,
those
he
are
had
someone else's. Okay.
it.
What time is it actually? Oh, I've got almost 5 minutes.
It's yeah. Oh yeah, you well, I have 9:29.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm just gonna have to shout because I can't find the connector.
Mm.
And now where's my poem that I just chose before I jumped in the shower thinking I had more time than I do?
Hi. Helaine is sort of here. She was here. She'll be back.
Okay, no wonderful poem. Let's see. We'll keep.
Out away from you.
Yeah, I can't find the dongle that connects my. So I guess we'll survive without it. Let's see. Here. I
We'll
hope
hear
it's
you.
fine.
Don't worry.
Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, now let me see if I can find a
You
way.
need help connecting?
Yeah, no, that won't connect. Oh, maybe it will. You can, is there a place for it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Let's
There.
see. Where am I doing here? It's me. Spotlighting.
Yay.
Sorry. It's still 6:30 a.m. for me, but
Uh,
I'm here and you're all here, which is great. And we're starting on our back just for a change. Oh, there's my notes. Great. Oof. Oh, so I saw some knees moving. So I know that some of you were already on your backs. But for those of you who are just getting on your backs now, let your knees kind of glide side to side a few times, slowly, as you slow down and deepen your breath. Taking a moment to notice the position of your head. Is your face pretty much parallel to the floor? Or could you either bring your hands behind the lower part of your head and just tilt it up a little bit? So it is lengthening your neck slightly, only to the point of comfort. And if you can't get comfortable with your face in that position, grab a little flattish pillow for under your head. And take a moment to just lift your chest, leaving your shoulders down, drawing your shoulder blades together, and then ease back down. Feel the whole back on the floor, and maybe just slide your body a little side to side like you were rubbing it against your mat. Feeling a little bit of friction. And then come to total stillness, except for your deep, deep, full breath. Maybe bringing your hands to your belly to be sure you're breathing really deeply, that you can feel your belly rise and fatten up. And then drop towards your spine with your exhale. Couple of those really deep breaths, also slowing them down. I need to slow down too because I had my watch 1 hour off. I had lots of time this morning that I didn't. And then if you haven't been already, having your feet on the floor, your knees in the air, and letting your knees drop side to side. Start that now, though. You inhale deeply to the center. Exhale completely as you drop them to one side. Inhale deeply back to center. Exhale deeply as you drop them to the other side. So just a few more times, side to side, noticing if you can gradually, with comfort, go a little further. Never pushing further than feels good. Never doing anything that brings pain. As you exhale, you could even blow the air out of your mouth so you're sure that you've blown every last bit out. And then deep inhale through the nose as the knees come back to center. And next time they come to center, just let them wander a little side to side. And then pressing into both feet and your right upper arm, just lift your right side, the whole side, right up through the shoulder blade. And then ease back down. Same thing to the other side. Lift the whole back. And exhale it down. And notice how already, as you let your knees wobble side to side slowly, that your back is feeling more like relaxed and connected. Whew. And then I really did think about this morning, but then I took a bath. Okay. So let's just have a moment of ecstatic bug. So first, your legs go up one at a time. Your arms go up, and you just reach as if you wanted to touch the sky with both of them. And then you totally settle your body back down with your arms and legs in the air. And you begin to shake them all over the place. Bop, 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 bop. You can make noise if you want. Lost my watch. And then those legs are in the air. Just invite one knee in towards your chest and then the other. And once again, drop your knees as far apart as you can with your hands on the inside and just roll from side to side. So take a moment as you roll to one side to just stay there for a full in and out breath. And then just slowly roll to the other side. Do that same thing. And then back to center. And once again, bring your hands behind your thighs now and invite them in as close as they comfortably come. Feeling that lovely stretch in your back. And release them away. And then draw them back in with your deep, deep exhale. More time. Inhale them away. And then exhale them in. And then let that left leg go and let it stretch way out. Press out through the heel. And then let it completely rest on the floor. Well, for a moment, you keep your hands, both of them, behind the right thigh. And exhale as you're drawing it really close. And then ease it away. Drop your left hand to your left hip point to keep your back nice and flat on the floor as you guide that right leg in circles right from the hip joint. Ooh. Slow circles, slow, deep breaths. And at some point, slow down, reverse those circles. And then bring that leg to stillness and have your hands really low down toward your buttock and begin to circle that foot around the ankle, making the circles as large as you can. Comfortably. All the over 200 little bones in your foot and ankle are now gently moving around on each other, waking up. So reverse your circles, see how that works. Notice if your left toes start responding to what you're doing. They just have a hard time staying out of it. And then just let that leg hang a moment. Just kind of bounce the leg a little, lower leg a little. And then go for a stretch, reaching the heel away, stretching the whole back of the leg. And then exhaling as you drop it back toward the butt. And another deep inhale, stretch. And ease it back with your exhale. And if and only if it feels good, the next time you stretch it out, lift your head with your chin tucked and look up at that foot. Whoa. And then ease your head down as you slide the leg down. Maybe one more time if that feels good. Ignore it if it doesn't feel good. And then slide your hands up closer to the right, almost to the knee on the back of the leg. And with your next deep exhale, bring that leg straight in. Whew. Every last bit of air out. Inhale it deep away. Exhale it back in. Inhale away. Exhale in. This next time, exhale toward the center of your chest. Feeling all the extra stretches that engages. And then away. And the next time toward your shoulder. More extra stretches, different ones. And away. And it's just hanging there in the air now. So snuggle your right shoulder into the floor and relax your right arm on the floor. Take your left hand to the outside of that left thigh and draw it across your body, finding a place for the foot to rest. Ah. And then it's just the slightest pressure to invite a little more rotation or not. So notice what feels good for you today. If you could take your hand and stroke it down the thigh, you're rotating all your nice little spinal whatevers. Spinal discs with that nice padding in between them. Ooh. So just notice how far your body wants to go. Don't push it further. Just maybe a little bit of pressure to just see how your spine rotates here. And then bring your hand under that thigh, roll onto your back, and bring the foot to the inside of the other leg, wherever it most lets your knee drop out to the side. So you could either have it all the way up into close to your groin or all the way down on the outside of your right, your left calf. And again, you might just do a little loving massage down the inside of that leg. And then hand under that thigh, bring it back up, slide the other foot in, and just take a moment to notice any differences between your two sides. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. And then bring your hands behind those thighs, both of them, and bring them in. Oh. And again, with your inhale, let them wander away. With your exhale, draw them in close. Absolutely full exhale. Noticing as you really tune into those muscles in your back, whether this pull in feels a little different from at the beginning. And then easing the legs away, let the right foot come to the floor, and then let that right leg really stretch out, maybe over the floor, pressing out through the heel, and then letting it come to rest and feeling the pleasure of its connection to the floor now. And for a moment, with your exhale, just draw that left knee in. Ooh. How comfortable is it coming in? How far does it want to come? Oh, and then let it go. And drop your right hand to your right hip point. Just keep your back nice and flat on the floor as you use your left hand to rotate your left thigh right in the hip socket. Keeping the breath long and deep. Or perhaps I should say, keep inviting the breath to lengthen and deepen. It's so easy to forget. And you've gone one direction, slow down, and then try the opposite direction. Really lubricating that hip joint. Body is so great. It has all these wonderful little sacks of lubricant, but they get all stodgy and thick and uncooperative when they're not used through movement. So now you're waking them up and but now bring your hands behind your thigh, really low down towards your buttock. And now that you have a foot just hanging there, begin to circle it around the ankle. As if you were drawing a circle in the air and making that circle as large as you can. And then softly pause and then reverse the circles. Picturing all those little foot bones and ankle bones sliding around on each other, bringing lots more nourishment to that area. And then letting that go with your next inhale. Stretch that leg as far as you can, pressing out through the heel. And then let that heel, with your exhale, drop back towards your butt. A few more of those. Nice deep inhale with the press away. Nice deep exhale with the dropping of the foot toward the butt. Maybe one more after this one. And then sliding the hands up the leg closer to the knee. Invite that knee in as close as you can. And ease it away and ease it in. In yoga, this is called the wind relieving pose. So I always suggest feeling proud and happy if it works that way. So next time, bring it in toward the center of your chest. Compressing the belly a bit more and feeling the stretch in the outer buttock. And then away. And next time towards your shoulder. More stretch on the inside. And away again. And then let it just hang in the air as you snuggle your left shoulder into the floor and bring your right hand across to the outside of that thigh and gently guide it across your body and find a place for the foot to rest. Oh my goodness. And just relax into this. How far without lifting your left shoulder too much off the floor. How far is that leg willing to comfortably go? And you might just try stroking from the butt down to the knee with just the slightest pressure, just to play with whether it might want to go a little further or not. Just breathing into it. Perhaps becoming aware of how you're rotating each vertebrae, opening up the space between the vertebrae, letting those discs between the vertebrae get fatter and more hydrated. And then bring your hand under the thigh and gently roll onto your back. And bring the foot to the inside of the other leg and just drop the knee out to the side. And you may notice this side is different. Maybe the knee doesn't go as close to the floor. But once again, you might want to just stroke down the inside of the knee, a loving massage. And I have a puppy licking my toes as I do this. Sorry. Oof. And then as you bring that leg back up, using your hand a little bit so it's very relaxed, bring both legs in and then invite them in towards your chest. Notice if they're easing in a little easier or closer. And then inhale them away again and exhale them in. And then just dropping the feet to the floor for a moment. Separate your feet wide apart so they're on the very edge of the mat with your knees in the air. And then once again, drop the knees to one side. Inhale them back to center. Exhale them to the other side. Letting one knee drop inside the other. Noticing how far they can go as you go side to side a couple, at least one more time. Gently pressing them toward the floor and then letting them rise up with your inhale and gently pressing them toward the floor with your exhale. And finally back to center. And one more time, you might reach for your thighs and invite them in for a moment. Whew. This time you might even lift your head and put your forehead down toward your knees if that feels good. And then slowly ease your shoulders back down and drop your feet to the floor. And then arms in close to your sides. Lengthening the arms along the sides. And maybe your thumbs, might come right under your butt. And with your next inhale, just lift those buttocks away from the floor. Stretching your knees away from yourself across the room, not away from each other. They want to stay parallel. And then slowly, as you can, easing your spine back to the floor, perhaps one vertebrae at a time, feeling each one connect to the floor. And as you do that, you might one more time draw your knees in while I get my blocks. I'm good at telling you to have your blocks, but not as good at having my own. So, so next, you're still on your backs. And maybe you've eased up and down a couple more times, maybe not. But bring your block between your thighs and squeeze it in. So you know you're going to keep your legs parallel for your next lift. So rock your spine a couple of times so you feel your waist press into the floor and then your tailbone. So you're easing back and forth. And then next time you press your waist in, slowly peel your spine as much as you can with awareness of each vertebrae as you go up. And when you're all the way up, just keep gently pressing your knees toward the opposite side of the room, feeling the stretch in the front of your quads, your thighs. Feeling the lengthening of your whole torso in this position. And then slowly as you can, easing down again. One vertebra at a time. Some of them will clump together, but that's just the way it is sometimes. And when you get all the way down, remove the block from between your legs. And then just lift your back enough to slide the block under your lower back. And just take a moment to relax into that. Notice if your shoulders can kind of lift and drop again so that you find the perfect alignment for your upper body. Maybe your hands open to the sky. And just letting yourself softly relax, feeling your shoulders sinking into the floor at the same time as your hips are lifted. Yes, and Wendy, a block might be better than a book for this, definitely, because it's so lightweight and easy to slide this way and that. And then lift one knee into your chest for a moment. Notice it doesn't want to come as far. And then stretch that leg up toward the sky. Bring the other knee in and then stretch that leg up to the sky. And you may just leave the legs hanging there, a little bit of inviting them to lengthen a little more. Maybe rotating the feet if that feels good. Maybe not. Just notice what feels good here. And then maybe just see if you could drop one leg a little closer to you without length while keeping it long. And then away, and the other leg closer. Just noticing the big stretches, first one leg, and then the other. And then gradually let both knees bend and drop one foot to the floor and then the other. And slide that block out and ease your way down. And then One last time, just let the knees wander side to side with your breath. Nice deep full breaths again. And then the next time they drop toward the screen, just roll your whole body over onto the side and let your head rest on your arm like a pillow. And just begin to let yourself feel all the little openings that have already happened. And hopefully some deep relaxation. And then pressing hands into the floor, gradually bring yourself up to sitting. Here we are. Maybe rotate your upper body a little, right from those loose, nice, relaxed hip joints you've put a lot of energy into already. And maybe the other way as well. And if you got your water bottle there, which I hope you do, have a nice big drink. My assistant has just come in. No. So bringing your hands to prayer position for a moment. Maybe lift your elbows and then lift your shoulders up to your ears and squeeze them in for a moment. And then drop them down. And next in breath, your hands glide up the center and Om. And again, surrounding yourself with healing energy. Om. And perhaps on the last Om, sending some of that healing energy out to someone. Oh. And letting the hands come down and walk a little behind you. And then release those legs and just kind of bounce out the knees on the floor. Yes. And then bring the feet to the floor. Feet a little bit more than hip distance apart. Your hands are firmly behind you. And feel how you can draw your shoulder blades down and in toward each other here. Open your chest really wide. And then with your next exhale, let your chest collapse in, your chin come to your chest, stretching the back. And then with the inhale, you're stretching it the other way, opening your chest really wide, bringing your shoulder blades closer and down, and then just let them ride up. Shoulders up to your ears, chin in, rounding with your exhale. Maybe one more like this. And then if and only if you feel the impulse, you can press into your feet and lift your butt with your inhale and then round again with your exhale. Maybe one more time, only if it feels good. And then step your feet a little wider apart. Oh, and let the knees drop to one side. Inhale them back to center. Exhale them toward the other side. Noticing how far they comfortably go. And noticing if you keep this up for a few more times, if they go a little further. And you can feel that even just this movement of your legs is kind of massaging your back too. You can feel your shoulder blades kind of moving around. And then no hurry, but next time those knees go to the right, bring your left hand to your hip. And ease it just a little forward, and then ease it back and look over your left shoulder. Ease it forward, looking around behind you a little bit. And then other way, looking over your shoulder again. Deep breath with each movement. Maybe going a little further each time you ease forward. Maybe one more time, ease back to look over that shoulder. And the next time you ease forward, consciously turning the pelvis, then the waist, then the chest and shoulders. So you're looking behind you, but being careful not to pull with your head. You might nod a little yes and no nod. And just notice how far you've gone and how that feels. Maybe coming out a little bit and then easing back in. Once again, you're rotating your spine, each vertebrae rotating on the one below or above it, but never going further than feels really right for you. And then no hurry, but with your next deep inhale, bring your shoulders around, then your ribs, then your waist, and finally roll your buttocks back down to the floor and let the knees roll to the other side. Right hand comes to your hip, eases it forward just a little bit, and then eases it back, and you look over your shoulder, right shoulder, and ease forward, looking forward. Ease back, looking over your shoulder. Nice, deep, full breaths with each part of the movement. And then no hurry, but next time you press forward, invite the belly, the waist, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, all to turn. And once again, nod your head slightly to make sure you're not trying to pull yourself around, but just relaxing into where you are. And notice how relaxed that feels, whether you need to come out a little bit, maybe with your in-breath, and then ease into the rotation with your exhale. Just in and out, noticing how or if it's working for you. And then slowly easing all the way out. Chest turns, rib turns, belly turns. You come down and maybe just let your knees rock side to side a little. And then you're going to rock them to the first side again. And this time, let your arms stretch up and slowly rotate hips, waist, ribs, chest, and bring that hand down behind you, close to the other hand. And take a moment to just notice how comfortable this is. You might want to rock a little side to side here. Feeling a lot of muscles and bones, just kind of massaging each other with your movements. Oh. And if you wanted, if it felt good, you could bend your elbows and let yourself ease forward a little more. Only if it feels good. Ah, but then before easing out of this, bring your arms straight again for support, and your spine really won't. Let that left arm stretch up again and just follow it around with your body, and let that arm come down behind you and knees drop to the other side. And this right arm stretches up, and then pelvis, waist, ribs, chest, and arm turn, and the hand comes to the floor behind you. And you notice if that's far enough or too far. Just make your whatever adjustments work for you, and maybe rock your weight just slightly from hand to hand. Maybe noticing how that brings movement into all different parts of your back. And if it feels good, and only if it feels good, you can bend those elbows a little bit and ease forward. And then pressing back up. Let your right arm stretch up and let your whole body follow it around. And bring that hand down. And then maybe before you come over onto your hands and knees, you might take another drink. And find your way onto your hands and knees. And maybe just let your body gently circle as if you were circling your tailbone, but noticing how the whole body comes along. And then reverse your direction. And finally, come to stillness. Arms right under your shoulders, knees right under your hips, just hip distance apart. And next, as you exhale, just let your back round, your tailbone curl under your head, drop towards your chest. And as you inhale, draw that chest forward through with a big smile of the chest. And then round again with your exhale. So just in and out, deep, full breaths with a deep, full movement. Noticing if it gets a little easier as you do it. And maybe adding, next time you round that back, dropping the butt back toward the heels. And then as you inhale, drawing the chest forward, opening it wide. So either continue with what you were doing or try this one. Maybe one more time. Either way, just feeling that stretch, feeling that opening in the chest, and then just relaxing here. Whoa. And letting your feet pop out to one side and then turning your head and shoulders that way. Whew. And easing back to center. Feet pop out to the other side, again with the exhale, turning head and shoulders the same feet. Easing back to center with your inhale. And one more time to the first side. Staying there this time for a nice deep in-breath. And a nice deep exhale. Inhaling back to center again. And exhaling to the other side. Deep inhale there. And noticing if your body wants to go a little further with the second deep exhale or not. And inhaling back to center. And for a moment, just dropping your hips back to your heels. Maybe lifting your hands and giving them a good shake out. And then rotating them. You're resting on your elbows, rotating the hands around the wrists. One way and then the other. We're going to stay on our hands and knees a little longer, and we want to make sure that our hands are okay with it. So as you come back up, if you find your wrists just really don't like this, you can always fold your fingers in and rest on the tops of your fingers and your thumb here. Oh, good. I'm going to stay there a little longer. So with your next exhale, just lift your right leg and bring it in towards your forehead. And then the inhale, stretch it way back. And again, ease it in. And you feel the same rounding of your back you did earlier. And then back, opening the chest wide again. So maybe one more time. And then just leave it hanging in the air for a moment. Oh, and then kick it out to away from you. Nice straight leg as far out as it goes. And maybe resting the foot on the floor. And if you feel that stretch, or if you don't feel the stretch, you can keep the foot on the floor and drop the hips back a little further for that wonderful stretch in your hip and up the back of your leg. Whew. And then lift that leg gently and bring it all the way across to the other side, resting on the top of your foot. And then turning head and shoulders toward that foot. Looking back. Nice deep breaths in and out. Notice if you want to bring a little tiny bit of movement with the breath. Maybe as you exhale, you might go a little further, feeling the stretch through your waist right up to your armpit and all the way down your leg. And then next inhale, chest comes forward, and then the leg comes back under you. Oh, and for a moment, you drop your hips back toward your heels and rest. And then back up on all fours. And this time it's your other leg. It comes in toward your forehead and then stretches way back. Chest opens wide as it stretches back. Back round as the knee comes in. One more time like that. And next time it goes back and hangs in the air, just leave it there. Oh, whew. And then let it go away from your body, that leg, and maybe it rests on the floor or maybe it stays hanging in the air. Notice what feels good for you. If you have it on the floor, you can always move your hips back a little bit to get more of a stretch in the leg and hips. Oh. And then gently lifting the leg, stretching it back, and then stretching it across the other leg. Finding a place for the foot to rest so it's firmly on the floor. And then as you exhale, turning head and shoulders to look back toward that leg. Ah, maybe easing out of that a little and then easing back into it. And as you ease back to center this time and bring the knee back under, you can sort of walk your hands forward, come down on your elbows, and gradually walk the legs back till you're on your belly. And maybe with the hands right under your forehead. So you can lie here in alignment. And let your body totally relax and soften into this new position. Like a little mid-class relaxation.
Okay, honey, tell Rosaria if she can come up whenever she's ready.
And continuing to feel relaxed and kind of melting into the floor. Just stretch one leg back, reaching it long, and then lifting it just a bit. Ooh. And then easing it all the way back down. You might take a moment to kind of flip your feet in and out and notice if one leg does now feel a little bit longer. And then the same thing with the other leg. Reach it back. Oh, lengthening it, maybe lifting as far as feels comfortable. And then slowly lowering it down. And then walking your hands forward. Just press them into the floor and give a little pull. So you're not just pulling your arms out of your sockets here, you're keeping them there so they feel the pull in your chest and belly, lengthening your whole front body here. And then releasing and letting your arms just elbows ooze out to the sides. And for a moment, just let your arms slide back so you're like hands on your thighs. So you're like a snake with no arms. They're just part of your body here. And bring your head to center and gently press your pelvis down and slowly peel your face and maybe your chest off the floor. Oh, perhaps holding this long enough to feel your body rising and falling with your breath. And then lowering your body, turning your head to one side to rest on one cheek. And let your arms just collapse into the floor, arms and shoulders. And then just bend the knees and let them feet swish side to side to relax the back here. And see about sliding the hands forward so they're right under your shoulders. And bringing your head back to center, your elbows are pulling back. You can feel like you're pulling your shoulders down away from your ears, bringing your shoulder blades in a little bit toward each other with this pull of elbows back. And then very gently see about lifting the chest and shoulders again, as if you were yearning forward with your heart, with your chest. And you're not bringing any pressure into your hands yet. Just noticing if it's a little easier to lift with the hands not along your sides the way they just were. Oh. And then ease down, turning your head to the opposite side from the last time you eased down. So you're letting your neck relax in different positions. Oh. And then head comes back to center. And pressing the pelvis down, slowly inviting your chest, face and chest to lift. And this time, if you want, and if it feels good, you could press a little into your hands and lift yourself a little higher. Pelvis stays firm on the floor here, though. Oh, notice if that feels good in your back. If it feels like too much, you ease right back down. Holding if it feels good for a little bit. Shoulders drawn away from the ears still. Elbows pressing back to keep that happening. And then slowly ease down.
Hi.
You turned your head toward last time, the other side this time. And let your arms slide into whatever position is most comfortable. Your knees bend and your feet kind of flop side to side. Ah. And then hands under shoulders again, just easing yourself up to all fours, knees wide apart, and drop your hips back towards your heels. Relaxing the back in the opposite position from before. Perhaps you can even feel yourself making more space between your vertebrae. Ah, pressing that butt back. If it doesn't want to relax down toward the floor, you can put a pillow on your calves and relax into that, because it's nice to feel a relaxation with this opening. No strain. And then perhaps walking the hands forward a bit and then pressing the hips back for a nice puppy stretch. Like you were, a happy puppy waking up in the morning, just wanting to oxygenate all your muscles and body. Ooh. And maybe rest for a moment. And then give another little stretch. And maybe walk your hands a bit to one side. And stretch that way. Feeling a little more opening on one side. And then walk them back to center. And walk them off to the other side. A little more stretch on the other side. And then for those of you who are into down dog, you know what comes next. Up on into. And you curl those toes under and lift your hips back, keeping the knees generously bent enough so that you feel the stretch from your neck all the way down to your tailbone, pulling away, nice and flat. Maybe holding for a little bit, maybe not. If you're not doing down dog, you could be doing another puppy stretch. But if you're doing down dog and you want to stay a little bit, maybe you could press one heel toward the floor while you're still pulling back through that hip, lengthening one side, and then the other same way. Heel drops a bit and you pull back through that hip. And if you're still up, you could drop your knees and again drop your hips back towards your heels. And rest a moment. And then think about how you'd like to come to your feet. It could be through down dog and just coming up into it and then continuing to bend your knees more and more so you can bring your feet in so that you're resting your body on your legs. Or it could be stepping one foot forward, or it could be almost anything. But one way or the other, you're going to ease your way up to standing. And maybe taking another drink as always, with every change of position where it's possible. And the moment your feet are firm on the floor, they're parallel, your knees are a little soft. You're lifting up through your belly, dropping your shoulders back and down. And just as you think, you're just relaxing into your mountain pose. Stretch your arms out to your sides and start swinging them side to side. Wake up that spine again. Good boy. Sorry. Notice how high you can bring those hands up. So maybe you'd be slapping your shoulder gently. And then hello. And you could kind of slap your lower back with a kind of massage. And then slowly let that go. And you come to center. And for a moment, just feeling your stillness. Maybe closing your eyes. Feeling how each part of your body is balanced over the part below. And then for a moment, bring your shoulders all the way up. And bring your chin down and just rotate your head against that nice, massaging muscle there. It's good for the muscle as well as relaxing. And then drop the shoulders down, down, down. Maybe noticing that having permission to come up, they go down even further. And then slowly let your arms lift away from your sides, turning palm up at the midpoint, and then coming up overhead. Just holding there for a moment. Nice, deep, full breath. And then letting that left arm drop with a deep exhale. Inhaling that right arm even longer and easing up to the side. Only as far as your body is comfortable going. So maybe you find you've gone further than you want and you come up a little bit. Or maybe you find you haven't gone as far as you want. So just easing in and out a few times with your breath. And then gently reaching for the sky and letting that arm drift down with your exhale. Other arm inhales up and over. And again, just playing with this. How far do you want to go? Maybe a little further with the exhale. Then inhaling up a little bit. Whew. And the next time you inhale all the way up, reach for the sky, and then let that arm drift down. And then just inhale, both arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Pull across for a moment. Ooh, maybe going a little further than before, maybe not. Inhale back to center. Grab the other wrist and over to that side. Ooh, everything lengthening. Easing back to center. Stretch those fingers as wide as you can as you bring your hands down. Ooh. And bend your knees. Give yourself a few little bounces. Right. Okay. And maybe setting the feet wide apart for a moment and bringing your hands right into that place where your hips meet and hinge forward with a long, long spine. So almost like you were trying to reach to the other side of the room with your chest and the top of your head. Maybe letting the knees bend a bit if that feels better. And then inhaling back up. And bringing your hands, heels of your hands to your waist, the rest of the hand stretching down over the upper buttock area. And draw your elbows way back and down to open your chest nice and wide. And that could be enough Or if it feels good, you can press those hips forward a bit. It's a front body opener here that you're getting. Not so much of a back bend, but that comes in. And then easing up again. Let the arms hang down and maybe swing them a little bit. Just feel how wonderfully they do move in their sockets. That's the design. And then let them come up in front. Just kind of hanging there, maybe oozing up and down a little bit, really relax. And then slowly bring them around behind you, either interlacing the hands and pressing the knuckles away. So your arms are very straight from the shoulder down through the fingers. And if for some reason that doesn't work for you, you could bring your hands to your hips and pull back through your elbows. Because you don't want your arms to be at an angle when you hinge forward. So if you've got your hands interlaced, or either way, pull the elbows or the hands as far back as you comfortably can, and then bend your knees and hips a bit and hinge forward with a long, flat back. Breathing here, noticing maybe if you bend your knees a little deeper, you go a little further, maybe exhale deeply as you do that, and then straighten them part way with your deep inhale. Bend them again with your exhale. Only if that feels good. And then really pulling back through your elbows, your hands, slowly come all the way up and let your hands come down to rest on your buttocks. Soft landing, and if you've had your hands interlaced, change the interlace so the other thumb's on top. Good for your brain to reverse it that way. And then lift those arms away from your back as far as you can. Opening that chest really wide, feeling all the stretches that brings. And then bending knees and hips generously. Hinge forward again. Maybe even ease a little bit from one side to the other, pulling back through your arms or elbows. And then pulling back through those arms, keeping knees and hips bent till you're all the way up. Come on up, and if your hands are interlaced, you let them rest for a moment. And then you let them release and float up. And maybe when they float down, you feel those little balloons under them. Or not. Okay. And let's think about balance. And I'm going to bring a chair over. Yeah, it's okay, baby. Because I think it's really nice to experience balance without worrying about balance. So, roll both feet on your mat a little bit, in and out. So you really feel that connection firmly. And then maybe put a finger on the chair as you transfer your weight to the leg that's near the chair, and you bring the other knee up. And just let it hang there in the air for a moment. And then slowly let it go back. And notice how the further back it goes, the further forward your chest comes. Your arm can go wherever works best for you. Some people like to stretch them out to the side, like an airplane. And then slowly, slowly bring that knee back, noticing how your chest goes back as your knee comes forward. And then if you stretch that leg out in front, chest goes even further back. And then you can bring that foot down and feel a moment of gratitude for having those two legs and feet. And if you want to do the whole 9 yards, you can bring the chair to the other side. So it's the foot that's, I don't remember which foot is which. I think it's the foot that's next to the chair that stays on the floor and the other one lifts up. Yes, thank you, Linda. Yes, who gave me the sign. Yes. So that knee is lifted. You're finding your balance, using the chair if it's helpful. And then slowly that knee goes back and just has to come forward to counterbalance. Notice how far you can comfortably go here. And then slowly bring that knee forward again, chest going back. So you feel how different parts of your body balance each other. And then stretch that leg forward, which means you have to go even further back. And bring it down. Woo, done. Done with balance for the moment. And how are we doing? Not doing so good on tongue, but we're going to do at least one. Anyway, coming to the back of your mat. And
Warrior.
Right foot forward. Bring your hands to your hips and turn your hips so they're same direction as your front foot. And bend that knee. And let the arms come up into your warrior pose. I knew the word would come eventually. Warrior one, that's what you're in here. Shoulders soften and relax down, even as the arms are reaching up, perhaps with the fingers stretched really wide apart. And then relaxed. And then let that front leg straighten and the arms come down. And maybe bring your hands interlaced again, or just bring the hands to your waist and hinge forward to get a really nice stretch in that back of that front leg. Once again, I'm apologizing for not allowing more time for us to be on our feet. But also reminding you that every stretch is strengthening for your bones. You might once again come into your warrior pose, only this time just pressing into the front foot and bringing the back foot forward. And then stepping the foot that was forward back. And again, finding that bend that's comfortable, that doesn't take your knee beyond your ankle. And then slowly bringing your arms up. Feeling your warrior pose. The warrior always prepared to advance or retreat, whichever is wise. So you're a wise warrior. And straighten that front leg now and see about hinging forward. Nice long back, not rounding, but just stretching forward as you're stretching the back of the leg. And then just bending that knee again. Let the back knee drop to the floor. And bring your hands down. And then bring your whole body down. Finding your way onto your back for deep relaxation. Yeah. And maybe feet on the floor and just rolling again side to side as we did at the beginning. One last massage for the back. And if your knees are going all the way, you can feel the massage right up your spine. And easing down. Blanket if you want one, whatever is going to ease you most deeply into relaxation. Maybe letting the head roll a tiny bit, inviting softness into the face, the jaw softening, the cheeks, the eyes, the crown of your head, the back, the sides, the neck and shoulders, allowing that deep healing relaxation just flow around your neck, shoulders, down your arms, down your back, over your front as well. Body sinking, sinking, sinking into deep relaxation. And perhaps listening to a little poem called Stream of Life. The same stream of life that runs through my veins, night and day, runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth in numberless blades of glass and breaks in tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. My limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment. As you invite deep healing relaxation through every atom of your body. And then very slowly, lovingly, gradually beginning to awaken your body. Even just a little wiggling or waving your fingers and toes. Ah, maybe just a gentle rolling of your head, side to side. And then sliding your feet in towards your buttocks, gently rolling over onto your side, perhaps with your arms supporting your head like a nice soft pillow. Deeply appreciating yourself here for nurturing body, mind, and spirit through yoga this morning. And then pressing your hands into the floor to bring yourself up to sitting as gently as possible. And bringing your hands into your chest, lovingly, softly, bowing your head to honor your spirit, to honor the light within you. And then lifting your eyes to honor the light within. Da-da-da. Remove. No. Sorry. There we go. I did what I wanted to do. Except I want to get rid of that now. So thank you. Honoring you all.
Thank you, Helaine.
That was so
Great
good.
class.
Thank you. I'm glad it worked for you. It was great for me. For me, it was 6:30 a.m., but coming back from California. So,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no
Wow.
wonder.
oh, so good long. Oh, I like to see big yawns at the end. That means that it really worked. Very good. Oh, yes. Big hug.
Thanks, Helaine. It was
Very big hug. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
very much.
Helaine. Very nice class.
Stretching, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.